Welcome back to Sonic Adventure 2. My volume's still too loud.
I'm so happy that after 4 parts we can finally talk about the story of this game.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Who the fuck is this Shadow guy? Why the fuck is...
And can I just say on that note, what an excellent start to the villain story. Especially with all the stuff of Sonic being chased by the police and going to prison. Just starting out with Eggman directly breaking into a military base is a good start.
Yeah, Eggman didn't even fucking bring like any fucking badniks with him or anything. It's just him. He's like, I don't need that shit.
I love Eggman in this game. He does not take shit.
Yeah,
Except
Eggman.
that
This
time
is
his
like
robot turns on him, but that's neither here nor there. That's just
this
really
is
funny.
one of the best Eggman games ever. It helps that he's an actual playable character.
He needs to be playable more. I think it's a great idea.
I agree.
Especially, and it's always weird that he hasn't been, since we had such a long period where he's just not the final villain.
Yeah. I guess he wouldn't necessarily need to directly be playable, but like in Shadow the Hedgehog when he's following you in the monitor, that's still pretty good, because you get a lot more Eggman dialogue that way. It's like, I don't know, maybe a Metal Sonic game where Eggman's constantly pestering you. That'd be good. But, yeah, this is other than, like, the Olympic Games and Riders and whatever, this is the only playable appearance of Eggman. Pretty cool. He's just Gamma, though. So, if you're coming from Sonic Adventure 1, might be a little disappointing that he's just Gamma again, but like I said, I think these mech stages are a lot better.
Yeah,
than
and it makes sense.
Gamma stages.
It makes sense that this is what Eggman would do.
Yeah. I mean, it would also make sense if he was in, like, his Eggmobile and he could, like, fly around with it and stuff. But this is probably not too dissimilar to that, so...
This is probably a more
doesn't
fun
bother
version
me.
of that.
Probably. But... yeah, it's the exact same gameplay we saw with Tails. This is pretty much Tails' first stage as well. Though I will say all of the Eggman stages that he shares with Tails, like the aesthetic or whatever, they're always better for Eggman than they are Tails. Actually, you know, I want to say all of Eggman's stages are better than Tails's. The only one I can think of that is, like, as good is, like, maybe Mission Street, but even then, Mission Street doesn't hit the highs of the two very, the two most popular Eggman stages in this being Cosmic Wall and Weapons Bed, which are just peak stages. They're awesome.
Yeah. So, want to give us a plot synopsis of what's going on here?
Yeah, so Eggman break into big government facility because he read his grandfather's journal. Gasp! Remember that guy from
And we finally have
Shadow
that journal.
Generations? Yeah, we do. But we have... this is the first appearance of Gerald Robotnik and anything. And yeah, he essentially created an ultimate life form. What could that be? I don't know. We're about to find out. But Eggman wants it, and that's why we're here. And the government has locked it up for obvious reasons. And it's just one big conspiracy, this game. What happened 50 years ago on the Space Colony Ark?
Yeah.
Who is the ultimate life form?
I feel like the cutscenes are handled a lot better in the Dark story. It feels like there's a lot more effort and good cinematic direction put into them, especially because there's an actual story to tell. I feel like they had struggle with Sonic's story because they're just essentially having him do cool things.
Yeah, I mean, This is very typical of Sonic games in this era. Sonic is just the guy that's kind of there. And he helps with, like, the climax. He helps, like, you know, fight the bad guy or whatever. But he's not necessarily, like, he doesn't have the most quote-unquote story points, I guess.
This whole scene is very, very 90s anime OVA. I like it.
It's fucking awesome. I
There
like
are
how
wires everywhere. Everything's exposed. It's cool.
Shadow was just being kept in a gigantic refrigerator. And this is the funny thing. I never understood this fucking thing, this room here with all the wires. Because in every other depiction, Shadow's just in a tube. Like a little fucking tube capsule thing. Like in Sonic X, that's what he's in.
I guess
fucking Shadow the Hedgehog, that's what he's in. Yeah, but if you actually look closely, the thing that rises up out of the like refrigerated.
That's unfortunate.
Great first showing of the ultimate life form, everybody. Eggman is very disappointed.
Yeah, you should probably start with the hero side story also, because if you start out with this, your first time with Shadow and a speed character is in a boss fight.
Yeah, and if you start out with the hero side story, which is the intended way to start this game, you already have like a preview of this boss. Damn, I got fucking launched. Yeah, I'm not having a great time with this boss right now for some reason.
Yeah, I see that.
I usually don't struggle this much, but you know,
There you go.
It's the recording curse, I guess. But yeah, in the hero side story, you get the easier version of that boss with Sonic after you do a speed stage, so you know, it's just better to start with the hero side story if you're new to Sonic, especially. If you're a veteran, you can start with whatever, but if you're a veteran, you've probably already played this game. So yeah.
I also love how he's just kind of almost depicted as like a god. Like, I will grant you any wish.
Yeah, he's the genie.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic and the fucking Genie of the Lamp. That's the new storybook game.
They already did the Genie of the Lamp, but okay.
Yeah, I know. It's the Genie of the Ring, actually.
With the Genie of the Lamp feature as the villain?
Yeah, but it's not Robin Williams, so who cares?
I don't think they're gonna get Robin Williams for your new game.
We'll use the power of AI to resurrect Robin Williams.
Yeah, we're gonna stop that there. PNG Desert.
Hey, it's this cutscene again. Do you like rewatching cutscenes?
Yeah, but now we got Rouge.
Because you do that a lot in this
and it kind
game.
of fits better.
The timeline is also like very fucking fucky with this game. Because technically
This happening at the same time as City Escape.
This happens technically after City Escape.
Oh, so we
Between
go ahead
Sonic-
of City Escape, and then we go back in time for Shadow to fight, to meet Sonic. Or I guess we don't see Shadow meeting Sonic in this.
Well, I'd say the pacing is fucky with this because after this you get like a ton of dark side stuff in between where you would then next play as like Tails.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's just more in between this and the next Tails level. I had to probably like look at my phone or something.
It has been a good long while since I played a Rouge level.
How do you feel about the music for her stages? Because I never listened to it.
I've gotten more appreciation for it as the more I play it.
Yeah.
It's just I really like it in this stage especially. I think it's very fitting.
I do like this song quite a bit.
Yeah.
But
I think I like it more overall than Knuckles' music, because for Knuckles, I really only like Pumpkin Hill.
I really like all the Knuckles songs, but that's probably just my blind nostalgia for this game. You know, that's just how it is with this. Like, this game is my Sonic Unleashed for you. Or this game is to me what Sonic Unleashed is to you, essentially. Like, I cannot, like, I am very aware of all the criticisms of it. I just don't care. I love this game to death no matter what.
Yeah, you just have terrible music opinions.
I mean, I guess. Whatever, it's subjective.
No,
Knuckles,
it's just subjective. You have terrible opinions.
Aquatic Mine is absolutely better than Pumpkin Hill, I'm just saying.
I don't know, Aquatic Mine's always been like the most boring for me. But I can't even call it off the top of my head very easily, so that's probably why.
But it sure beats fighting with his foes all the time, but he's got to do it because they always stay out of line. Even though sometimes he just wants to chill and lay. But he's the protector of emeralds and gems.
You can read off lyrics as much as you want. It's not going to help your case.
He stays knuckled up in a deep cut, whatever the fuck that means.
I like Eggman stage music.
Yeah, his music is very fitting for his character. That's the thing, I do kind of...
Because they add a lot of, like almost industrial stuff to it. So it's kind of similar to Tails' music, but more industrial, so it has more edge to it compared to Tails', which is just really plain sounding. Especially compared to Sonic. Sonic's way more high octane.
Tails is like the goody two-shoes mechanic, but Eggman is the evil mechanic. So it's fitting. The music in this game is perfectly fitting to each of the characters. Most of the time, Shadow kind of has. Well, Shadow, you know, he has songs.
When he actually has the songs that sound like they're made for him, yes.
Well, I was about to say he does have songs that quote unquote fit Sonic more, but we forget that him and Sonic are very similar characters. They just have different backstories and thus different goals. Like Shadow, the real only difference between Sonic and Shadow is that Shadow is angry with humanity for killing his friend, and that makes him he still, like, in very Sonic-y fashion, he still does what he wants. He just wants the destruction of the world. So, you know, arguably they're very, very, very similar characters, so it would make sense for Shadow to have some tracks that display that. But I think they didn't really do a good job at that, because the Shadow, like Radical Highway, doesn't really sound... I guess it kind of does sound like a dark Sonic track.
It is a much darker riff than anything Sonic has. It just doesn't have... The thing with Shadow's music, and I think it is ultimately fitting, because like between Radical Highway and Skyrail, which are usually the common examples, they're still much harsher and more dark songs. I think those are the ones made for Shadow.
Yeah.
Everything for Sonic is much brighter in tone.
Yeah.
But I do think Shadow's music is at its best when it's the electronic stuff that Fumie Kumatani did. But unfortunately, not every level gets one of those tracks, which is sad.
Yeah, we actually don't have a lot of those tracks in this game, and that is very sad.
His main theme, we got White Jungle, Final Chase.
And that's it?
Also Bio-Lizard.
Yeah, I guess the supporting me fits that.
100% does. It's Shadow music. And also the final fight between him and Sonic. That's a Shadow theme.
Yeah, see that he's got plenty of tracks that are like that. You're fine.
Yeah, I just wish we had it for all of his levels, since he barely has any levels.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Radical Highway fits, like we were just talking about. I think Skyrail, while it is technically a little darker sounding, it still feels more Sonic to me than fucking anything.
I disagree, but that's just fundamental. I've seen a lot of people talk about the theory that not all of these characters, there's only supposed to be 3 playable characters in this game.
Yeah, we talked about this.
I've never really felt that before. I've always wondered
That's
if the
not a
scope...
theory. We know it was going to be Sonic, Knuckles, and Eggman.
I don't know, it just
we
doesn't
do
really
know
feel
that.
way.
And then they made the rest of the characters by just copy-pasting the gameplay.
Oh, you finally got a B.
Yeah, I got
had
hit
the A
one too
streak
many
going.
times.
Yeah, you had the A streak going, though. I was proud.
It happens. This game, unlike, you know, Sonic Generations or whatever, you actually have to try to get the A ranks. It's, and it's a lot harder when you don't have the, full set of abilities. So. But yeah, see, like, right after Knuckles' stage, we would have immediately gone to fucking Prison Island with Tails. But we're doing this with Eggman. And then we're doing Radical Highway. And, yeah. So a lot more plot is just happening in between this. The hero side story is more so just Sonic being like, oh, Eggman's up to something. I better go fucking do that. And I'm also being chased by the government. But that's very typical Sonic story. See, that's the thing. People are like, oh, Sonic shouldn't have dark stories. But in this game, Sonic himself really doesn't. It's Shadow.
Is that even an argument anymore? I feel like that was only ever around in the Dark Ages.
I mean, there are people that still
Sorry, I misspoke. The best ages. Anyways, carry on.
Yes. I've just taken to calling it the Adventure Era instead of the Dark Age.
I call it the best ages because literally all my favorite Sonic games are from that era other than Sonic 3.
And Sonic Frontiers. You love that game.
No.
It's near Sonic.
No. I still put it well below this, and this isn't in my favorites.
Yeah, honestly, like nothing will ever beat my blind nostalgia for this game.
I think that's what kills it for me, is I just don't have nostalgia.
Well, that's what I was about to say, is like over the years, as my tastes for the series have changed, like if I look at SA2 more objectively, it's probably one of the weaker Adventure Era games for me, just in terms of its design and whatever else. Like, yeah, the basic gameplay, it feels really solid, but fundamentally you are doing like the soft QTE-esque level design.
I will 100% argue this is a Shadow theme. There are so many electronic elements in this. It's still mainly guitar driven because it's Jun Sonoe, but I think this is close enough to a Shadow theme. I don't think this could fit for Sonic.
Yeah.
Skyrail though is still up in the air.
I want to go back to that other conversation, but I will say I think it's just two different people giving two different interpretations for the same character.
Oh yeah, probably. Because Commentaries was also doing Rouge's music, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think she had some other stuff lined up. I'd have to relook at the credits list.
Mm-hmm.
And
but yeah, anyway.
I know Kenichi Tokoi was in this game. I'm trying to remember which tracks he worked on, though.
I honestly did not know he was in this game. A lot of the people that I only learned about starting with, like, Colors have been around forever.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
He's pretty much the only other OG left who's on almost all the games. Because Otani wasn't in SA1, but he was in this game, so I guess count him if you will. But Kenichi Tokui, I think started with SA1.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Jun Sonoe, we can consider him an OG, but he's just not in as many games now, so I don't know, he feels more guest appearance now.
I mean, he's still...
It's like a specialty
still...
thing. It's like, alright, yeah, it's cool he's returned, but he's mainly in the nostalgia games. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's probably... well, I was going to say that's probably where he's best served nowadays. But he's horrible.
Yeah,
he's just bad at making classic music.
About to say, like, we've all heard the Superstar soundtrack.
Yeah, but he was involved with Shadow Gens, right? That soundtrack's okay.
Yeah, but those are already good tracks with remixes that are, I think, for a lot of the tracks, at the same quality or a little bit less than the original tracks.
I would say most
like
of them are less
Kingdom
than.
Valley, I'd say same quality between those two. Chaos Island, debatable. You either like it at the same quality as Chaos Island from Frontiers, or you hate it.
See,
Radical Highway, it's just inferior. I mean, I've grown to like it, but it's just inferior.
My thing with remixes is if they sound the exact same as the original, then they're not worth listening to, so I rank them lower. So, like, Kingdom Valley is very, very, very similar to the original.
Fair enough.
But I'm just not going to like it as much because the original came first, and that's the original song, and this new quote-unquote version of it is just doing the exact same thing, just with slightly different instruments, is what it sounds like.
Okay, well, let me ask you something, and this is gonna get heated, I bet. What's better, that or Sonic Colors Ultimate?
That.
Okay. Never mind, it's not gonna get heated.
Colors Ultimate's remixes suck dick.
Kenichi, or the Asteroid Coaster by Kenichi Tokui and Terminal Velocity Jun Sonoe are the only ones I really like. That's it.
Yeah. And even then, I still prefer the originals in those two cases.
I prefer the originals when I play the stages, but if I'm going to listen to them outside, I like both.
I guess that's.
But I would listen to neither of them in stage, I think. Especially in Terminal Velocity. Terminal Velocity by Jun Sonoe is so freaking busy. There are so many freaking layers to that song at every single moment. It is insane. It is audio. It would be audio overload if I had to listen to it in game. You know?
Yeah. Anyways, I kind of wanted to go back to the thing we were talking about before we went to the music, which is that, yeah, like, if I look beyond my nostalgia for Sonic Adventure 2, I think it's probably, like, one of the weaker Adventure era games. How would you rank the 3D Sonic games from 1998 to 2006? So basically just SA1, SA2, Hero Shadow, 06.
I mean, if we're gonna, are we talking about personal or critically?
Personal.
Oh, personal.
And then we can do a more critical.
At the top would probably be Heroes, followed by SA1, followed by SA2, then 06. Well, I guess if this is personal, Heroes, SA1, 06, SA2, Shadow, in its own corner where I dislike it. And yeah, I only put 06 above SA2 because I just love 06 for some uncontrollable reason, and this is personal. Critically, probably SA2, followed by Heroes, then SA1.
Well, when I say
Shadow
critically,
in 06.
When I say critically, I don't mean what the critics say. I mean, like,
I'm talking about like
quality.
in terms of actual best quality. I put SA2 at top.
I would not. I would put Heroes at top in that case.
Really?
Yes. This game is way jankier than Heroes. People call out Heroes on its jank, but
I'm not even
praise
talking about
this
jank.
game. This
I'm
game
just talking
is,
about like in terms of the quality of the content I get. I feel is still higher in this than Heroes. And I'm saying
No,
this
this
as
is what
somebody who is hyperly nostalgic for Heroes.
well, this is what I was saying. Is I'm like personally, I would put SA2 at the top because I am blindly nostalgic for this game. But if I actually look at this game critically and judge it that way, I think it's kind of ass. There's no way I would like this game if I didn't grow up with it, is basically what I'm getting at. Because now my Sonic tastes are entirely different than what they used to be. And I think something like Heroes is significantly better than SA2. Not even just, like, I would put SA2, like, third from the bottom with fucking SA1 right behind it, and then 06 at the very bottom in terms of, like, literal quality. Because these games are old as fuck, they're broken as fuck.
Nothing about them is aged well.
Yeah. And Heroes I put at the top because the only other game is Shadow the Hedgehog. And in terms of
killing
just
the
raw
stages, my guy, by the way.
I know,
Good
I'm
job.
getting so lucky is more what you should be saying. Like with the Knuckles stages, I got lucky like once or twice. I got lucky with Knuckles like once or twice. But Rouge, I've just been nothing but bangers. And I'm pretty sure it's even like that all the way up through Mad Space, but I could be wrong. But we will see in the next part of Sonic Adventure 2. Well, we won't see that, but we'll see in a later part.
Shut up and
end. You know what I mean. Fuck you. Shadow the Hedgehog, best adventure era game.